Hey, good evening, everybody. Dev Mentor Dave here on a Monday evening. And I know that's a little odd because usually we have these on Saturday mornings, but I have missed the last two Saturdays. We were traveling, doing sort of vacation. It was more of a working vacation for me than it was an actual vacation, though I was able to get some time in the hammock a little bit in the evenings, and sometimes in a little bit of a break throughout the time. So we are doing a live stream tonight as kind of a makeup for one of those weeks. One of those weekends that I wasn't able to be online. And then we will still go ahead and do a live stream on Saturday this week as well. So you're going to get two live streams this week, even though we had only one live stream or no live streams last week. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know. I had taken all of my stuff with me in case I got a chance and felt like actually recording some videos, and that didn't happen. And I didn't really like the space as far as being able to make videos there, and so I didn't end up doing that. But I had to reset everything up. So uh, hopefully everything is sounding all right as I hooked everything back up. I didn't really test it out very much before actually jumping on here, so uh, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know, and if everything seems to be running okay. It looks like the stream is healthy. I just want to make sure everything is actually coming through the way that it should be coming through. I'm not seeing anybody say that it's not, so I'm going to assume that it's working. All right. Welcome, Ming. Let's see. Oh, awesome. You are now officially a software developer. That is really, really cool. Um, Tell me more. Write it in the chat. Tell me what's going on. That's awesome. I love to hear that. Is this? I assume this is your first job, Ming, as a dev. Or are you doing freelance? Let me know in the comment section. Um, for those of you who are watching live, if you are watching live, say hello in the comment section. And if it's your first time, let me know where you're watching from. And I'd love to I love seeing where in the world people are from. I want to say, I think Ming, you're from UK, if I remember correctly. I always, sometimes I get that right and sometimes I don't. So we'll see. But say hello so that I know that you're here and that you're watching. It lets me kind of enjoy the fact that other people are crazy enough to get on here in the evening with me, or in the daytime, depending on what it is your time. So I do apologize. My voice is a little rough today too. I preached last night or yesterday at church, so it was a long one. It was over an hour, so I talked for a long time, and I talked for a long time here too. So signed a contract today, full-time permanent role, working for a consultancy firm. Awesome. That is really, really cool. Congratulations, Ming. That's really, really cool. Man, that's so much fun. I love hearing success stories. I love hearing you guys getting out there and getting a job, especially right now when it's so difficult to get a job for junior developers. Any chance we get to celebrate somebody getting one, that's awesome, man. Congratulations, Ming. That's really cool. Um, so if you're watching, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. As you can see on the screen, it just popped up. Hit the check out our Discord channel or server or whatever. I always say that. I think it's a Discord server, but you have channels in the server. I don't know. It's too confusing for me, but we have one. We have a Discord server, and there's multiple channels in there where you can jump in and say hello, ask for help, share what you're working on, all kinds of things. We've got a good number of people in there that are ready and willing and active and wanting to help you as a junior developer. A lot of them are junior developers. We've got some in there that are senior developers that just pop in from time to time to help out as well. So take advantage of the Dev Mentor Dave Discord server. Um, yeah, absolutely, Ming. I mean, I can imagine how long were you looking Yeah, I would love. So I'd love to get this. How long were you looking, not lurking? How long were you looking for your first job, and then how many interviews or job applications like did you put out? I'd be interested to see that because I see a lot of junior devs putting out what they say is hundreds of resumes and hundreds of applications. So I'd be interested to hear kind of what your story is there. So, but again, congratulations, that's awesome. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it's tough. It's tough for senior devs right now. There are senior devs that I know that have been without a job for months, and I mean, part of it is how you interview. Part of it is your skill set, if that's matching with the jobs. I mean, there's a whole lot that goes into that interview process, and it can be really, really tough. So that's why it's so exciting, especially for junior devs, when you're able to land that first job and you get that full time role. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. One more reminder before we kind of jump into more of our content this evening, and that is that we are still trying to work on our goal of 5,000 subscribers. We've been at about 3,100 subscribers for a long time, and a lot of that is on me, quite frankly, because I have not really had the time a lot lately to work on more content. And honestly, I understand that's what draws people in, right? Is having content. I love doing the live streams more than I like doing the content because I like interacting with you guys. But content is what's necessary to get the subscribers and get more people to know about the live streams. So if you can help with that by sharing the videos or sharing the live streams or simply telling other people what we're trying to do here, that would be awesome. So I would appreciate that. If you would help us spread the word of our 5,000 subscriber goal by the end of 2024. Um, 2 years. Wow. 2 years from the end of July until now. Wow. Okay. So not much early on as far as trying. And then in the last year, wow, 20 to 30 a day. Wow. 6 days a week. Good grief. That is crazy. So now I need to get like some sort of setup where I can like actually have people um, on an interview because now I just want to sit here and talk to you about about your experience now and hopefully encourage other people. If you're watching this later on, if you're a junior dev and you're watching this afterwards, like be persistent. I know that there are going to be times where you're going to be frustrated, where you're going to wish that you had never even gone down this road, where you're going to want to quit. Um, Let Ming be the encouragement that you need because 2 years, man, that is a long time to learn and grow and try and just keep pushing through. But I really hope this is a great experience for you, Ming. I really hope that this job is something that isn't just beneficial, from a financial standpoint, but something where you're going to get the help that you need and the ability to grow. So that I really hope it's not a dud. Like unfortunately, a lot of them are for junior devs. But hopefully, this is a great opportunity for you. Either way, you're going to learn a lot of stuff, no matter how it turns out. But that's really awesome. Ming says it wasn't just applying online, but cold emailing the recruiters. Wow, man, you really went all out. That's awesome. Cold emailing recruiters or CTOs or CEOs, whoever was doing the role. That takes a lot of work and that takes a lot of effort to go find that information too. So, man, kudos to you, Ming. That's awesome, and maybe that gives you guys, other guys who might be watching this, some information, some ideas of what you should do. Again, a lot of it from the application standpoint is thinking outside the box, right? One of the things I talk about a lot is how do you set yourself apart? And a lot of people try to do that um, with their GitHub accounts, whether it's the projects they're working on or whatever. Um, you got to find other ways because your GitHub isn't probably even looked at if you're application is even isn't even looked at. So, and quite frankly, I don't know how many people actually really look at GitHub. To be honest with you, I have rarely looked at a GitHub or a personal website when I've done interviewing for positions, whether that's a junior dev or a senior dev, because I'm more interested in what you tell me about yourself on your resume, and I'm more interested in how you interview. To me, those are going to tell me a lot about how you're going to interact with others in our company, how you're going to go about learning and growing yourself. So, but that's very interesting. You take that approach, and again, I think you have to think outside the box, right, and kind of find ways to interact with the people that are the decision makers in any way that you can. So, I mean, that's a great idea. That's awesome, man. Yeah, they. I'll be honest with you. Anytime you hire a junior developer, you're viewing it as taking a risk because there's so many unknowns there. There's so many unknowns about how you learned, about how much of your portfolio you actually wrote. You know, that's the thing about GitHub. Like, you could put a whole bunch of stuff in there and nobody really know if you actually wrote that stuff. Like, do you really have the skills? So there's always that little bit of a question as to whether this person's really going to work out. But I love hearing that somebody's actually willing to take that risk, because it's a good risk really for companies to take, because usually junior developers don't cost as much. So if you've got some mentors or somebody there that can help you along the way, that's going to be a really good spot. Just seeing that they're willing to take that risk is awesome. So, um, all right, cool. So I wanted to just take a few minutes and talk about the channel this evening. So nice. So they'll give you some opportunities, but then you're kind of on your own. Honestly, that's really what you want. You want somebody who's gonna force you to learn and grow and do it yourself, but be there to answer questions, right? You're not looking for a teacher, and that's the difference between a teacher and a mentor, right? You want a mentor. Mentor is somebody who's going to come along, answer the questions that you have, but push you to documentation, push you to tutorials, push you to the things that you need to learn to grow on your own without just giving you the answers. That's really what you need. So hopefully that's going to be a good situation for you. It sounds like, regardless of how it ends up, it sounds like it's going to be a great learning experience for you. So, and again, just a great reminder that it's going to take time, it's going to take effort for other junior devs as well. So, all right, so I want to talk about the channel a little bit. Starting off with where I've been, as I mentioned a little while ago, haven't done a whole lot of videos lately, and part of that is it's kind of a lull. We've been doing a lot of things with the live stream, but a large part of that has been some changes in my role in the company that I work for. I've moved into more of a management position, but in that process, I was still heavily involved in multiple projects as a lead, and also even in development. And so that was taking a lot of extra time, quite frankly, and I was putting in some extra hours, and that's not a bad thing necessarily, but it kind of takes priority over the Dev Mentor Dave YouTube channel. So that's why you haven't seen a whole lot of content from me lately. However, that is really starting to level out now. Especially this week is probably one of the best Mondays that I've had for a while. So I am working on a plan to get back to doing more videos. My goal is to get a couple of videos out a week, as well as the live stream on Wednesday. Um, I'm also looking at potentially putting together some sort of membership on the YouTube channel. It feels a little weird because, you know, the goal is not necessarily for this YouTube channel to be a big money maker, but I have some projects that I might be doing on the side, and I think it might be beneficial to do that in such a way that could help some of you junior developers along the way. And I think a membership might be a good way to do that. I don't know. I'm playing with the idea. I'm not sold on it. So if anybody has any suggestions or thoughts, certainly feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Whatever it would certainly be a low cost thing, because it's, again, that the goal isn't to become a millionaire through YouTube. The goal is to have a channel that's helpful for junior developers. So anyway, let me know what you think. I don't want to be a jerk, as I've mentioned before. So that's something that I'm thinking about, looking at a lot of different ways to be able to engage more on the channel, to engage more in the Dev Mentor Dave Discord server. So any ideas with that would be great. But the big thing really has been my full-time job and just some of the extra time that it's taken. And now that that's starting to cool down a little bit from a need standpoint, I'm going to be able to devote a little bit more time to the channel. And so hopefully that'll come out in some more helpful videos and more ways that that you guys will be encouraged with in the coming weeks. So that's kind of just an update on the channel. We're still here. We're still going. We're going to pick things back up a little bit. Summer's always a lull, I think, for most people, but we're gonna pick things up. I will have some vacation time here in a couple months, but I'll try to get some videos in the queue for then as well, so that we have some content, something to help you guys out. And of course, we'll still have the Dev Mentor Dave DeepPockets project probably still going at that time as well, because we're moving a little slow, but that's okay. So speaking of the DeepPockets project, tonight we're going to look at some design stuff, and then we're going to look at some PRs that have been put in that I want to just look at. I didn't want to do that offline. I want to actually look at them and go through them here, that are some bug fixes. And I want to talk through some good things about that, and then we'll open it up for any Q&A if anybody has any here live on the live stream. So also, just so you know, we will be starting with personal tickets in the near future. I do have some homework for this week that's a little bit different, and you'll find that out when we start talking about our topic for tonight. But yeah, so we will have some individual tickets that will be going out here in the coming weeks as we draw closer to actually really starting to develop this out. So be looking for that. If you have requested to get individual tickets, that I have you on a list, and I will be setting that up here in the coming weeks. If you would like to request individual tickets, not just the community ones that we've done, if you'd like to have your own tickets to work on the DeepPockets project, leave me a message in the Discord channel, the Dev Mentor Day Discord server on the channel. I think it's DeepPockets code channel. Yes, DeepPockets code channel. Leave me a message there and let me know that you want individual tickets if you haven't already, and I'll make sure that you get those when we start getting those out. All right. So we are gonna dive into something that's not my forte tonight. So you're gonna watch me, as has happened recently a lot, kind of fumble around with some things as we talk about design. So one of the things that I've mentioned on a few live streams is if anybody has some design chops and would like to offer their design skills, that would be awesome for the DeepPockets project. But I want to take some time and look at a tool that we use for the company that I work for. A lot of companies use this. Even design companies that I've worked with ad hoc use this tool. And I want to show you a couple things that you can do to actually design some pages for the DeepPockets project. Now, if you remember correctly, we scrapped the Tailwind CSS in favor of the Material UI component library. And the reason for that is because I actually did buy the Tailwind UI component library, and I thought it was horrible, to be perfectly honest with you. It wasn't as useful as the Material UI component library, in my opinion. Now, I haven't done a ton with Tailwind, so maybe that's why. Perhaps if I were more involved in the Tailwind world, that would have been better for me and easier for me. But I literally got my money back and everything, so I was like, this is not going to be that simple. It's just not as easy to take components from the page, put them into the application and tweak it, right? Because at the end of the day, we like to do things as easily as possible, right? Because sometimes the best dev is a lazy dev. They tend to do the least amount of work to get the product that you want. So we threw out the Tailwind UI and we went to the Material UI or MUI component library. Well, one of the benefits of using a component library is you already have kind of a built-in design system, which makes a lot of it easier to design everything with the same look and feel and things like that. But you still have to think through the process of, what do I want this page to look like? What do I want? Where do I want different things on the page? And so I found a free tool that we can use to actually create the designs using the MUI framework. And so I want to kind of walk through that process with you this evening so that you can see it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a homework assignment. All right. And that homework assignment is going to be using this tool with this Material UI version of it, and to build out one or more pages if you want to do more than one page. And so I'll discuss that here in a few minutes. But yeah, so we're using MUI, but I want to show you a tool. Maybe you've used it before, maybe you haven't used it before. But if you have used it before, hopefully you can tell me the things that I'm doing wrong when I'm using it as we go along here. And if you haven't used it before, hopefully I make it easy for you to understand and not feel overwhelmed. All right, so let's jump into that here. The tool that I'm talking about is Figma. So if you've used Figma before, tell me yes in the chat. If you've not used it before, tell me no, or just don't say anything. I just wonder if anybody's actually used this, but it's something that we use at our company. It's something, like I said, I've worked with other design firms that have used it. It really is pretty slick. It's pretty easy to use. It's great for collaborations. We're not going to necessarily do that right now. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, so you've used it. Perfect. But I think it's really helpful, and especially with this Material UI design kit, I think it really is going to help us get some cohesive designs out there pretty quickly so that we can build something that looks good for the DeepPockets project. So let me switch over here to my screen. All right, so we have, and here, let me do this. I'm going to put in this URL. So this is the URL to this specific file. It's Material UI for Figma. All right, so remember, Figma is the design tool, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But this is a special file that's free that you can use that has a lot of the designs for Material UI already laid out for us to copy paste. So that's the best part. So let me copy this and paste it into the chat so you guys have that. And let me see, can I actually edit the description here? I've seen other people talk about editing descriptions while they're live, and I've never tried to do that before. Let's see. If anybody knows if I can do that, let me know. Edit. Ah, I can. Ooh, nifty. Okay. MUI toolkit for Figma. All right. Save. All right, cool. So that should be in there for anybody who's watching this later on. And there's one here in the chat for anybody who's online currently. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hit open in Figma. So I'm already logged into Figma as Dev Mentor Dave, of course. So this is it. I'm going to see, can I save this? File, save. Save local copy? I think that's just local on my computer. Yeah, it's just downloading. That's not helpful. Let's see. Is there file? I should have looked this up before I actually got on here. Sounds good, Ming. Good to see you. Let's see. Create a branch? I can't do that because it's free. Oh well. Well, I'll show you the tool, and then you guys can export pages or views or whatever to show me what you've done. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to come in here, and on the left-hand side are our pages and just other assets. All right. Over here, we've got some design variables and things. And then this is our actual page. You can zoom in and out. This is our content area. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a new page. So we'll just do DMD for our display here. Now up at the top here, there are several different options for things. You can add text, you can draw, you can get some shapes and things here. I'm going to do this guy right here. It says frame, and I'm just going to draw a frame. All right. Now this is going to be my page. Here's something that's pretty cool. So you can go over here to frame on the right hand side, and you can select like desktop, and that'll automatically size the frame to a general desktop size. So this is sizing it to 1440 by 1024. Okay. So right there, I've got a web page. Pretty easy. Now let's say you wanted to create some designs for mobile as well. So I can come over here, I can do this, and I can say, let's see, I want my frame to be iPhone. Let's just do the newest iPhone. Okay. So now my frame is set up for the newest iPhone screen. Of course, if I want to, I can always, make this longer with the design as the design gets longer. But of course, I can Control Z or Command Z and make that shorter again. So we can have our designs for desktop. We can have our designs for mobile as well. So that's important to make sure that you think about those things, especially with our app where we're going to want people to access it on the desktop. It's a web app on the desktop or on the phone as well. So that just gives us a good way to see what the difference is. Honestly, most tablets are going to either be the phone view or some sort of desktop view these days. At least from what I've seen, tablet views don't really seem to be as big of a deal anymore. But it is what it is. All right, so I'm just going to walk you through a few basics here of the actual file, and then we are going to jump over to some PR reviews. So one of the things, so I've got two frames here. I'm in frame 1, which you can see are the assets that are listed inside the page that I have highlighted. But let's check out some of the items inside the toolkit that we have here. So we've got kind of an overview that gives you an idea of some of the things that you can do, some instructions. I'm not going to look at all that stuff. Here's what I want to do. I want to build a login page. Even though we're not doing login, so that's on purpose. I'm going to build a page that we're not actually doing for our thing because I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment on it. So let me build a login page real quick. So we've got our screen here. I'm going to increase the size just a bit, and we'll do kind of a modern view here. So I'm going to come up here and go to section and create another section. This section, I'm going to actually make this probably about halfway or so. All right, and I'm just going to give this a background color. I really should have looked up my own colors. I don't remember. I don't have them memorized. Okay. So that has a background color. Maybe we'd have some text over here, but I'm going to put the login form over here on this side. All right. So we might do something like, let's come up here and do some text. So deep pockets. All right. And I can highlight that. And I can come over here and change the font settings. If I want to do something crazy, I don't know. So we've got that. Let's make this font bigger. Here we go. Yep, it's not spelled right. That's okay. All right, we're going to move this around. Let's add another text here. All right, I'm going to make that a lot smaller. And tell you what, let's make this text white. All right. And move this guy. All right, see how the lines show up to help you kind of center things? So we're going to center it and put it right there. All right. And actually for this guy, I'm going to do this hopefully more like my bluish color. There's that. I wonder, let's see. We got a drop shadow on there. So we can add drop shadow, inner shadow. No, let's do drop shadow. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So this is going to be our login page, even though we don't have a login page. So again, as you can see, it's pretty simple and straightforward to work with this. I can copy both of those things and kind of move these around and center. Whoop. Oh, I highlighted. Hang on. Whoop. Control Z. All right, so this and oh stink, I forgot how to do this. There we go. Okay, so it's a shift. All right, so I can kind of move these around, make sure that they're both lined up, and I want it centered in the middle of the screen. There we go. Okay, so that's a little bit better. All right, now let's take a look at some of the options here. So if I go over here to the components, here's a theme, which kind of gives you an idea of the items that we have, right? So we've got your top bar, you've got your navigation, you've got buttons, all kinds of different things that you can put into your design. All right, so let's take a look at the components. We've got alerts, cards, let's see, avatars, all kinds of stuff. Let's do this. I'm going to grab a card and let me expand this a little bit. Card header. Let's see. Do I have a blank card somewhere? Those are just design styles. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to double click, and double clicking takes you further into the element here. So I'm going to keep going in until I've got the card itself. Okay, so I've got the card. I'm going to just copy, Control C, come back up to this and Control V. Move that over here. All right, we've got this centered there. That's pretty close. Okay. Here, I'm going to come in here and change this text to login. All right, and so then we've got different things that we can do with these. We could just take these out if we wanted to. These are kind of placeholders. So we'll get rid of these and we'll add some other stuff here. But I want to grab the card itself and make it a little bit bigger. Just a smidge. And, oh, hang on. What's going on here? Why is that not doing that? Hang on. Let's do this. Let's go. Uh, 300. Why is that like that? Hang on 1 second here. Card. Okay, let's do this. Let's do forms. Text field. Okay, so this is kind of cool the way they have this set up. You can actually import pieces into it. So I'm actually going to come over here and take a look at this. All right, so that's our card content. So I'm going to take this. Can I duplicate this? Oop, that's not what I wanted. So this, copy, and then paste here. Come on now. Copy as. Does that work? Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. I want this. Copy. V. Why isn't it going in there? If anybody knows, let me know. That's really weird. Should be able to copy paste that in. Okay. Anyway, so we could come in here. We could call this. I don't know why that's not working. Let's zoom in here. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to click on the label. What did I do? Okay. I don't want dev mode. There we go. Something happened there. All right, let's look at this. Double click in. Okay, now we change this to username. So we could do like nothing here for our design because we don't want it to actually have a name in there as we're putting that in. All right, so let's see. Man, that's really annoying. I can't figure out why that won't let me add another element. Mm-hmm. Why will that not let me add? Well, we'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. You guys kind of see how that works. And if I can figure it out, I'll let you guys know later on. So here's our text field. All right, card actions. Excuse me. So we've got an instance of nothing really, but let's add a button. All right, so we've got that added here. This one will actually delete because we don't want that one. And this one, our button, we're going to make that medium because that's a little too big. State is enabled, colors primary. We could change that if we wanted to. So this toolkit comes with a lot of these variables and things already included in it. So let's see. Padding. Where's the alignment? I thought there was a way to align this. You could add an icon to it. Change the label. All right. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with these elements that are already built in. Variant, let's change it to an outline. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. The one thing I would like to change is this. Oh, wait, hang on. That's not what I'm doing. How do I do the button? You can't do it there. Maybe you have to do it over here. Okay, let me see. Oh, come on. As I said, I am not an expert. So this is just a tool that we use. And most of the time I'm just getting information from it. I'm not actually designing it. But it should be a way for you to move this around. What is this? Horizontal padding. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Okay, so we've got a basic button design. Let's see. And there. I wonder if I can do... Maybe this is the alignment. Ah, there we go. Haha, figured it out. All right, so there's the alignment because you have to do it on the parent CSS. It's like it's made that way. All right, so there's that. Let's see. So I wonder if we go to our card content, can we add detach instance? Nope, that's not what I want. Let's go back over here. That's just changing what we're looking at. I wonder why I can't add to this instance. Because I'm in the card content. Let's see. Layout grid, auto layout. I would think I would be able to add components. Well, let's try something else here. So let's come up over here. We've got our login. Here. Let's change this though to be middle. What is this? Card. Let's see. Card elements. Card header. Avatar. We don't need an avatar. No right actions over there. So we've got our login information. Let's see. So we want to click on here. I want to deal with the header. Why won't that go middle? Interesting. Fill, hug. All right, let's look at, can I go in here and set it up? Nope, that's still not doing it. Let's see, is there a way to do this? Primary text, effects, no, we don't want any effects. Don't need that. Wonder why it's not centering. Oh, here we go. Boom. Now we got the login. Okay. Apparently you have to go all the way in. So make sure you keep double clicking until you get to what you're trying to work on. All right, so I will have to figure out how to add another text field to this. I don't know why it won't let me do that at the moment. I would think that you should be able to copy and paste that in there. But for some reason, it is not doing it. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay. So we've got a login username. We'll just assume that we have a password for now, since I can't figure it out off the top of my head. But as you can see, the components are pretty cool to interact with because you can make all the different changes over here, most of the changes that you would like to. For example, let's say you wanted like a text box here. I think there's a way to do, so we've got our text field, size, small, state, we could add a placeholder if we wanted to. I think it doesn't need a value. Standard, filled, outline. So kind of the different design items that you have in the MUI component library. So all these things you can interact with and kind of get the design based on the component library that you want. So let's see if there's anything else I want to do with this. I really wish. See, this is what happens when you don't practice stuff before you do it. But I really wish I could figure out why it's only letting me add one content item. Because that's really kind of driving me crazy. Let's see. Because I would think you should be able to. Oh, there's a multi-line option too. And that's cool. Okay, so up here we could change that to text field. But here I want to add another instance. I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's see here. If I want to do, let's get out of the cards. Let's go to our text field here. And just for fun, we'll grab another one. And I'm just going to copy this field by itself into DMD and paste. All right, so that text field, oh, it was copying them up here. Ha, ha, ha. Let's see if I can drag that inside. Nope, will it do it? Come on. It does not want to, do I do it inside the card content? That's annoying. Because we see the fields up here. Wonder why it won't let me add that. It just opens it up. That's so weird. Okay, well, we'll figure it out later. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, so here's the idea is you have the designs already in there. Oop, what was that? Is that our field? Oh, that's our field up there. So there's our field. It got put way up there. So the question is, can I drag it inside the content here? Nope. That is so weird. I don't know why I couldn't add that to it. Anyway, that's our other field. That's where it went. Okay, so anyway, this is how you can use that. Again, you can drill into all these things. You can use the actual component library. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to spend a little bit of time and build a page for the DeepPockets project. All right. I want you to build a page that is the budget view. All right. So when you're looking at the application, and you go into to view your current budget for that month or for that week or whatever it is. Let's assume that it's a monthly budget. All right. So it needs to have a probably budget line items. It needs to have maybe some percentages on there of how much you spent for that, or things like that. So take a look at some other budget apps that are out there, and use the MUI Figma, and check that out and see if you can come up with something that is just a basic design. Now you can do that for the desktop or for the mobile phone or for both if you want to. So that's kind of the homework assignment for this week. If you have some time, mess around with Figma. You saw me struggling around with it a lot here tonight, but mess around with it. Take a look at that component library. There's also some icon libraries that you can get. The icons are not in here, but you can get an icon library and pull that into your Figma design as well. So check that out. And if you're so inclined, spend some time and see if you can come up with some designs for the budget view of the DeepPockets project. So I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing that anymore this evening. So I want to take a look at some PRs, and then we'll open it up for Q&A if anybody has any questions there. So let me switch over to our pull requests. Okay, so I'm going to do these in order as they came in. So what happened is we had some bugs in some of the original design that I didn't catch originally, and some of you caught them as you're looking to add some of your other PRs in. So I'm just going to do these three. I'm going to wait to look at these until Saturday. So we're not going to merge those in tonight. So we're just looking at this. We're going to add a missing column. And notice here, this is really, really cool. I really appreciate you guys actually jumping in here and interacting with each other on these PRs. Obviously, I'm going to do it as well, either here live or offline too. But thank you for jumping in here and interacting and helping one another with your PRs and providing some feedback. All right. So looks like we got this updated. We got an integer that adds amounts. So here's the problem. Normally, what I would say is on something like this, it's not good to edit an existing migration. It's usually better to write a migration that is updating the database rather than changing the migration here. Now, the project is really just getting started, so I'm going to actually let this slide, but normally you don't want to do this. Normally you're going to create a new migration. So I'm just going to leave a comment. I'm going to merge this, but normally we would do a fresh migration with changes, not just changing the original migration. All right, so I'm just going to leave that as a comment, and then we'll just take a look at the commit. So we've got, we'll take a look at the files. Again, that's all we have here is that only change in the file that was already existing. But we'll go ahead and come in here, and I'm going to approve this. Oh, I have to do a review. Hang on. Where's the review? Add your review. There we go. Review changes, approve, submit review. Okay. So now we're going to merge this in. And I did not take the time to actually test this out. I should have, but I'm not going to. So we got timestamps here. We need to review this, added timestamps. Here's the files that are changed. Timestamps need to be added to all of these tables, which is good. We want timestamps on everything. It should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of them have timestamps now. So we'll review that and approve and submit. All right, now we can merge that in. Do it. Okay. And we got one more pull request that I want to look at tonight. Let's see. Okay, naming conventions that were not correct. And here's a problem: we've got conflicts now. So we're gonna make a note here to have somebody resolve the conflicts. So I'm gonna do at who did this? J Carlos. That's a weird way of saying that, but I'm going to say it that way. All right, so leave a comment there. And so hopefully Carlos will see that and fix those, and then we can review that and get those pushed in as well. All right, cool. So that is everything for the PRs for tonight. Again, we'll look at some more PRs next week. I just pulled this up in case we wanted to test anything live, but we're not going to do that. I don't see any questions for the Q&A, so I think we'll just go ahead and close it up for tonight. It'll be a short one, just an hour long, obviously kind of off of our normal schedule, but hopefully this is something that's been a little bit helpful to you. Again, I just want to say congratulations to Ming on getting that job. I really hope that works out for you. That's really cool to hear. So congratulations, Ming, on that. But we'll go ahead and close it down for tonight. And thanks for joining, those of you who are able to join live. And I will see you all shortly on videos, and then definitely next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, at 10 a.m. Central United States time. So thanks for hanging out with me this evening and watching me fumble through Figma, and hopefully you guys do a little bit better than I do. There's plenty of videos online to show you how to do stuff. So I'm sure there's probably somebody who's done a video on it. I just wanted to show you some of the basics that you can interact with the actual UI components and manipulate them to get the design that you want. So I just wanted to kind of show that to you, and then let you know of the homework assignment. If you want to try to design the budget page and see what you can come up with from a design standpoint. And of course, if you would like to help design the actual product fully, let me know, as we are pretty much at the stage where we could use that. So have a great evening. I will see you all on Saturday, and talk to you later.